Welcome back to Superstar Glam. My name is Janice, in case you didn't know. Today I am bringing you a makeup tutorial, but it is totally inspired by the Pantone color of the year, which this year happens to be coral. Now they are calling it living coral, and I looked it up to get an idea of what they mean by living coral, and it says it is an animated and life-affirming coral hue with a golden undertone that energizes and enlivens with a softer edge. I will try to remember the link down in the description box so that you can go and check out that, because it actually goes into in-depth describing the color, the hue for this year's color. So that gave me an inspiration, and what it made me do was really dig deep into my makeup collection and pull everything out that I could possibly have that had the hues, the coral hues, with that shift of gold undertones. So surprisingly, that color has become a little bit more popular. We're starting to see it a little bit more on a lot of palettes. What I did is I just grabbed a lot of products that have coral hues and pretty much decided at the end which palettes to put together. And surprisingly, I even forgot about this. I had this stashed away, but I happen to have the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions little palette, and pretty much has everything that you would need to mix and match in a coral look. And also, I was also surprised to find out that the new BH what is it called? The new BH Ultimate Matte Palette, which I've been loving. Actually, I had like the perfect transition color that you kind of see peeking here. So I was really surprised to see that, but I definitely give you a little run through of everything that I gathered that was coral, so maybe that will inspire you to, if you already have the item, to pull it out and play with it. So there's definitely a variety of items here that have a coral shade some way or another. I mean, worst case scenario, you have more or less a blush in your collection that has that coral shade with that gold shift in it, and you could totally use this on your eyes if you didn't have any of the palettes that I will be mentioning, or the palettes that I used on my eyes. But anyways, without making this video any longer, before we jump into it, I just want to remind you, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do so. Click that little button down below and be part of the Superstar Glam Squad family. Also, click that little notification bell so that you are alerted every time I upload. And now let's just jump into the video. So I'm going to prime my eyes using my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot in soft ochre. So jumping into this video, I didn't know how easy this task was going to be to find coral shades. But once I started digging into my collection, I realized that we actually have seen this shade kind of emerge and become a little bit more popular. And so I was able to pull out a whole bunch of products that I have now I have so many options that I don't even know where to begin. One of the newest things that I had hauled and picked up was the Smashbox Ablaze face palette, and that one has a nice like coral shade there, and then more of like a deeper like peachy orangey blush shade. I'm just gonna quickly go through this, because if I go through everything I have here, this video will probably be a little long. The Juvia's Place, the Festival palette, that one has it's more of like a peachy shade here. It's more like a light shade, so this could be like more, and it's matte. This is, I think, like the perfect color. It's from Flower Beauty. It's the blush in Warm Hibiscus. It looks like this, and for me it's more like a blush topper than a blush, but it does have that gold shift to it. It's a little more intense and shimmery. But I think another close second would be the Clinique Chic Pop and Peach Pop. It does also have a shift to it. It's more like a satin finish rather than like a matte blush. I think the only difficult part was finding a lip shade, only because corals on me, I don't feel that they're flattering. I think that they tend to be a little too bright for my skin tone, so I don't think I've ever liked a coral shade on me personally, but I do love it on other people that can pull it off. Okay, this one I thought was like the perfect one because it's from Huda Beauty, and it's actually called the Coral Obsessions. So you actually have all sorts of peachy pink corals. This one's really nice. This one, these two shimmers in the corners, they have the gold shift to them. This is like a really bright, I would say like almost neon coral. It pulls a lot of red and pink, but it does still have like that peachy pink coralness to it. Oh, and also one of my newer palettes that I have from my collection is the BH matte, the ultimate matte palette. This one actually has a really nice peachy shade right here. Coral shade right here. I think this is definitely a perfect shade. While the other BH palette, the Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette, which includes mattes and shimmers, I found that this one also has a perfect coral shade here, but this one's more of like a shimmery shade. So again, these are all just suggestions if you happen to have these items or products or palettes that I can give you an idea that actually have this shade. And then, not to leave this one behind, I think another shade that I feel is like the perfect shade is the, I guess, cult favorite from NARS, the Orgasm shade. It has a pinky peach tone with the gold shift to it. Okay, so I think for now, the ones I'm going to be dipping from is the matte, the BH matte, and also the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions. I don't think I could go wrong with these two. I'm probably just going to build on that color. I don't know what I'm doing, so let's just start and see where this takes me. So I'm going to start off with that coral shade from the BH palette, and I'm going to start applying that color on my crease. And this is a Glamour Dolls, I don't know what it is, like a crease brush, fluffy crease brush. I think the perfect color to use in the outer part to blend that out is going to be that shade that I mentioned from the Juvia's palette, that shade Monwool. It's really pretty, soft corally shade. I'm just going to apply this on a much fluffier brush just to help blend out those edges. I'm going to apply just a tiny bit of this shade above that coral shade just to help blend out that the brow bone. Now to just add a dimension, I think I'm going to use probably this shade right here from the Huda Beauty palette on a smaller fluffy brush. This one's from BH, the Studio Pro line, number 17. I'm just going to be pretty much building up on that coral shade different shades to add dimension. So I'm deepening the inner and the outer. And I'm gonna go back to that BH shade on that same brush, and I'm just gonna lightly go over the edges in the crease. And then I'm dipping back to Juvia's Place. Recently someone comment on my video that it was refreshing to watch my videos because I don't use like 100 different products, and I usually don't like to dip into so many different palettes. Like, I like to work with one palette just because it overwhelms me to dip into so many palettes, especially because after I'm done with everything, I've completely forgotten what it is that I used. So I like to make it easy for me and just work out of one palette, and I guess this would be my exception because we are working with a specific color. Okay, I do want to start building a little bit more definition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this one and take that shade right here. It's like a light brown, orangey brown. So I'm going to add it to the crease. Maybe I should switch up brushes. This one is from my marble set from BH, the number 5, and it's a domed brush. Again, I'm just trying to add definition. Okay, I'm going to mix these two colors right here. So it's like that brighter pink with that dark brown. Oh yeah. So I'm adding this to the outside and the inner corner. And I'm going to take my BH fan brush. This is the number 4. And I'm going to take the coral shade from the BH palette that I initially added to my crease. And I'm going to use this as the shade to blend out those edges. Now I'm going to go and dip in that big fluffy brush into the shade Manwu from Juvia's Place. And again, just working the border to blend out those harsh lines. I'm gonna take this dense angled brush with no product, and I'm gonna use this to kind of clean up around. When it starts getting a little messy, I typically do this and try to clean up before it gets too out of control. Okay, now I really want to darken, so I think I might go in with a black, just tiny bit. I'm taking the marble collection from BH number 7, and then now with the fan brush, just going over those edges. I'm just going to cut the middle section so I can go in with a shimmering shade. And I'm taking the Luscious Angel Eyes eyeshadow primer base. I think we got this in a boxy charm. I'm gonna go with another BH brush. This one's a flat, probably it's like a concealer brush. I'm gonna go in with the first shade right here, and then I'll finish it off with that one. I'm going to also wet my brush. I think now I'm gonna go and dip in to this dark brown from the BH palette. This one right here. And I'm gonna pop it right in the outer and the inner just to help blend that out. I also feel like this is in need of some definition, just like right on above that little cut I made. So I'm going to take that same brown shade and just run it right along the edges. It just helps define that center. And then I'm taking this, it's also from BH, and it's like a pointy brush. And I'm going to take those coral shades from the Huda Beauty, and I'm just going to use this to help blend out that dark shade, bring back that coral shade. Taking that shimmer shade again, and I'm going to wet the brush, and I'm just going to help blend out those edges. In the center of that, I'm going to take that other shade, that other shimmer shade that pulls more gold. Also wet the brush. I'm going to add this to the center. Okay, and for the blush, since this is like the perfect coral blush or the coral shade, like I said, it does kind of pull more like a blush topper on me. You get to see more of the gold flecks from this blush. So I'm going to mix it in with the Clinique Chic Pop and Peach Pop. And like I said, it's not totally matte. It still gives me a really nice sheen. And this is my favorite blush brush to use. It's not even a blush brush. It's the Luxie Pro Precision tapered brush, and I love this because this gives me like the right amount and gives me more like an airbrushed effect. And I could definitely skip out on highlight, but I'm not. Highlighter is the Dose of Colors and I Love Sarai Bathe Highlighter. Okay, let's shift gears here. Let's do the bottom lash line. I'm going to take that dark brown with a dab of that black from the BH palette, and I'm just going to add it right here in the outer bottom lash line. I'm going to connect it to the top right at the corner. I'm going to take that little pencil brush, and I'm going to take that the brighter coral shade that looks more like pink. I'm going to run it down the lash line. Going to blend it out with that dark brown as well. And then just I'm going to flick the outer corner. I'm just making sure that it connects, that it's all blended out. And then to tie in the shimmer, I'm going to bring it to the bottom lash line inner corner. I'm going to take the one that has more of a gold tone in the same definer brush. I'm going to wet the brush, and I'm just going to pop it right in here. So I'm feeling like trying something different in the inner corner, and I'm going to take that yellow shade right there. Actually, I'm going to mix the other yellow shade from the BH. I was going to pop in some gold glitter to tie it all in, but I'm just going to apply the highlighter that I used for my cheeks. I'm going to wet the brush also. Just go over. Probably wasn't necessary to add that yellow. Yeah, just skip the yellow. It wasn't necessary. Gonna apply a coat of mascara. I was going to apply liner, but I really want to focus on the color. Maybe I should even skip falsies also. And the one I'm using is a sample from Lancome, the Monsieur Big. I'm gonna re-intensify that coral shade underneath the lash line. Okay, for lips, I think I'm gonna attempt to mix a few things and see how that goes. I'm using the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner and Downtown Beauty. Okay, then I'm gonna fill it in with this lip liner from BH. It's peachy. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Dose of Colors Bear With Me. It's like a pinky nude. Turns out to be the same shade almost as the lip liner. Okay, this is it's like a mini lipstick from NARS. It is the Orgasm Lipstick. Now, I don't know if the formula is normally like this on the full size, but in this one, it's really dry. So it kind of tugs. So it's like not creamy at all. Oh yeah, this is perfect. It's giving me the peachy pink with that gold shift. Really, really nice. Let's set this face. I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, old packaging. I'm gonna finish doing something with this hair and I will be back to show you the finished look. So this is the completed look. I think that this is a really fun and flattering color on all skin types depending on the shade, but you can totally make it work. I think that this is going to be a color that we're going to be seeing a lot in the spring and also transitioning into summers with a more tan face and bronzer. I think that's going to look really, really nice. So I'm really, really loving how everything turned out. Yeah, I think this is definitely a fun shade that they picked for this year. I was even pleasantly surprised that the new BH palette that I picked up, the Ultimate Matte palette, actually has a really nice matte coral shade in there. So I think it's a little more common to see the shimmering coral, but the matte, I really, really did enjoy it. And also that I happen to have the Coral Obsessions from Huda Beauty, which I love these. Compared to her full-size palettes, these are definitely in more less expensive. I believe they're like $28 for these shadows, and I love them. They're small and compact and is really good quality shadows, so I would definitely recommend that also. But that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed. I think that at the end of all my videos, I would hope that you take away something from my videos, whatever it may be. As a reminder, just know that beauty isn't always what you see in the mirror. It's really how you feel about yourself. Dig deep inside and know that you have your superstar glam. Sometimes our superstar glam is the boost we give ourselves and the confidence that comes with it. And with that, I leave you, and I'll see you in my next video.